You can do this. Hey guys, welcome back to vlog 44. My name's Anthony and it's Wednesday today, so we're going to go over habit building. More specifically, I want to talk a bit about my bad speech habit of using filler words way too often and 5 steps that I've scoured online to find and put together that I'm going to be doing to help me move forward. And in order to really focus in on this bad habit, I'm going to try doing this in one take. And if I keep messing up and using filler words, you're going to have to see them. And any kind of weird stuff that happens in between. So let's go. Step number 1 is identifying your habit. Now we already know what mine is. It is the overuse of filler words such as like, but also any variation really of those words. So now that we have that, step 2 is identifying the triggers that cause us to do these bad habits. So I've broken mine down into 2 really. The first of which is I speak too fast sometimes. And I think because I'm speaking so fast, my mind can't keep up with my trail of thought. And as a result, I use filler words in order to let that catch up. So when I catch myself speaking too quickly, I will take a step back, take a deep breath, and continue. The second trigger that I've identified is storytelling. Now I've noticed when I tell stories, I don't plan those out. So a lot of the times my mind is still trying to determine what direction I want to take the story, how I'm going to tell it, any points I want to focus on. And as a result, I use a lot of ums in between, and I notice and I catch myself out. So speaking of noticing, step number 3 is mental awareness. Constantly being aware as you're talking, in this case, of when you break that habit. So when I catch myself saying or like, I make a mental note or I'll stop and point it out, and then I'll continue. Now, obviously, because it's a habit and by definition, it's something that a lot of the times happens unconsciously, subconsciously, happens subconsciously, you're not always going to notice. But the important thing is to make a conscious effort to point those out. Even if you miss it from time to time, the fact that you're kind of conditioning your mind to notice these things is a good step forward. Moving on, step 4 is something that I blended together. First is pain and pleasure association. So this comes from a man named Anthony Robbins who wrote a book called, and I always mess this up, Awaken the Giant Within, where he talks about how every action or decision that we make in our life comes from 2 central points. One, pain avoidance, and the second is gaining pleasure. So every decision has to do with one of these 2 things. So in line with that, my 4th point is, what do you do when you break the habit? And what I'm going to be doing moving forward, and what I've kind of started doing in vlogs previously, is when I catch myself breaking this habit, I'm going to leave it in post-edit. So in these videos, you're going to catch me saying and I will point it out on purpose until I've kind of worked that out in the system. We'll see how that goes, but that's more to do with pain. That has to do with pain avoidance because it makes me cringe. It's going to make you cringe. I'm sorry about that. Secondhand cringe is awful. I understand, but it's all for a good cause. And the 5th is just reflection. Reflect back when you catch yourself out doing these things on identifying any additional triggers moving forward. So that's really what I wanted to cover today. Sorry, this is a weird one. It's one take. Again, I apologize for that. It's a little messy from time to time, but I'm working really hard on it. Anyways, if you liked what you see, don't forget to leave a like, comment down below any steps that you're taking to get rid of your bad habits or any that you recommend that I can work on. I always look forward to that, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.